friends. Welcome back to the Apology Accepted podcast. I am your host, Latisha Monique, and I am so excited to be on this platform today. Whether you are tuning in for the first time or you are a returning listener, I am so grateful for your support. The Apology Accepted podcast is dedicated to exploring the power of apologies, accountability, and personal growth. Our mission is to provide a platform for listeners to reflect on the importance of owning up to mistakes, understanding the impact of our actions, and embracing the transformative power of forgiveness. In this episode, we're going to talk a little bit about the history of this podcast, okay? In 2020, May, well, a little bit before May, but May made it official. So, spring of 2020, I decided to go on this healing journey. And what I wanted to do was make sure this time around, my healing journey looked different than the previous healing journeys I was on. And so throughout episodes, you will hear me say, I am healing for real. And what I mean by that is my efforts, dedication, and loyalty to making sure I am healing inside and out. We use that word healing so loosely, where it become one of those things, especially during this time, the new year. Oh, by the way, Happy New Year, everyone. But we use that term so loosely because every new year we all take this promise to do something better, something different for ourselves. And one of the things, most people, their thing is, I'm going back into the gym, I'm going to lose this weight. Well, that used to be my thing. But the past, I'm going to say 7-8 years, that was not a thing for me. Okay. And that's just me being honest. That was, I didn't have the get back in the gym goal. But what I did have was the healing goal. And so I wanted that to look different and be different for me versus me just throwing out the word, I am healing in this season. This is my season for healing. But I never stuck to or even identified the true meaning of healing and what that looks like for me. So I'm going to give you guys the Google version of healing. And Google says, healing means the process of becoming well again, especially after a cut or other injury, or of making someone well again. And so when I read this definition years ago, about 4 years ago, I knew what healing meant, but I didn't read it. And so sometimes we know what something means. We know the definition. But for me, I'm going to say this. When I read it, it made me feel like I didn't know what the definition was. I was seeing it for the first time, and now I needed to take action. So for me, what I got from this, because some people might listen to this and say, well, I ain't cut, I ain't injured, and you right, maybe. For me, I took this as the process of becoming well again, especially after my hurt and my pain, my disrespect, my dishonesty, all of those things, becoming, excuse me, y'all, becoming well again. Because one thing I realized in my hurt and in my pain, I I created a space inside of me where I put all of those things right there and I masked them. I forgot about them. I didn't think about them again. So I thought I built this healing of a thing, but I never took the time to actually unpack my pain, to actually go through and say, you know what, these things taking place, these things hurt me. Now, how do I deal? What is the proper way of dealing with these things? And sometimes we get so comfortable with using the statement, I'm good, I'm okay, I'm strong, I don't need, I gotta keep going. And yes, we do have to keep going, but in the process of us continuing on, we have to address some of these things. Well, not even some, me. So I have to refer back to me. I had to address all of the things that I put to the side, because what I realized is I had certain triggers. And when those triggers arise, all of my pain and that hurt, those emotions and feelings, all of them surfaced as if it was the first time all over again. And it put me in places and spaces of defeat or depression or anxiety. It was giving me all of these feelings where I had, or felt like I had, no control. And so this platform I created for a space, excuse me, y'all, I don't know if I'm coming down with a cold or not, but I don't know what's going on. Anyway, this platform helped me create a space really for me, to help me kind of talk through some of the things I've either dealt with or seen, and to be able to talk them out in a space where I am able to help someone else. Not necessarily looking for my listeners to say, "Oh, girl, that's me." No. But if you can knowingly, while listening to this podcast, knowingly say, I can relate, I done been through that, I ain't really deal with that. Let me listen to how she got through some of this. If I am able to help someone, that is the goal. For me, getting back to conversations, like how often do we have real conversations, whether it's with a family member that we trust or whether it's with a girlfriend, getting back to those intimate spaces, because social media has made this world so public where everything is just posted on social media. Now, social media have, it's good and it's bad, it's pros and it's cons, whatever. But for me, getting back to an intimate space where we are able to talk to our peers in reference to how we feeling and how we going to get through it. What can we do? Because we don't always have the answers. I'm saying we again, me, I don't always have the answers. And sometimes I have to say things out loud in order for me to kind of grasp and understand. Because then I go back and listen and I say, you know what? I got a solution for that. Because I was able to hear myself. But the first thing I did on my healing journey was allow myself to apologize to myself for the hurt and pain I caused on myself. I'm going to say that again because sometimes people don't always hear the first time. So I'm going to say it again. I had to give myself space to apologize to myself for the hurt and the pain I caused myself. And that looks like, because people might say, well, I ain't caused myself no pain. Somebody else hurt me. Sometimes we don't realize that we hurt ourselves, whether that is accepting things that we know we shouldn't, whether that is injecting ourselves or our body with something that we know we shouldn't, beating ourselves up mentally on something that we know we shouldn't. Like, these are the things that I had to recognize that I was doing to myself in order for me to do and start this healing journey for real. Okay? Because see, I'm on this journey for real this time. Right? It's not just a saying and it sound good and it look good. No. Healing is not pretty. It is not fun. As a matter of fact, it is the total opposite. And that's when I realized I was on this journey for real, because the healing brought out pain and conversations that I didn't experience or have previously. So, and I can only, give you my experience of healing. It was definitely painful. It was painful. It was dark. It was isolation. It it was not this glorified thing I imagined at first. Healing at first, I just seen, butterflies, rainbows, sunny days, laughter, happiness. But I did not get to all of those things until I went through the storm and the rain and the darkness for days, because I had to identify what I was healing from. And it went way back. I mean, way back. So now on this journey in my authentic self, still healing, because healing is not something that happens overnight, and it's not something that is done, in a week, in a month. And healing looks different with each person. So my healing journey, I am going to forever be on, because for me, it has become a lifestyle of making sure that I am not injecting harm to myself, to have those cuts and those other injuries, as the meaning that Google gave us. Making sure I stay true to why I'm on this path. And again, it looks different for everyone, but I am here to share how it looks for me. And that's how the Apology Accepted podcast became a thing. I had this saying at first, apology accepted. And that was my thing. That was my saying, because I had to first accept my own apology and accept the apologies from others that I would never get, and being okay with that. And so one day, I lie to you not, one day, me and two of my friends we were at something. Where we were at? It was a restaurant, but it was like maybe a gallery. I don't know. We was in Richmond, and they showed me a new place. We were somewhere, and we was just sitting at the bar having our little I don't even fruit water drinks, because that's what we did. And we were just talking in reference to the changes that we were making and what we were doing. And it's always good to have girlfriends that will hold you accountable. And that's what one did. Well, they both do. But one in particular, she was like, "You've been talking about this platform. I don't know what it looked like for you, but if it need to be a podcast, let it be a podcast. And it just should be this." And so I was like, dang. Not only did she put me in my place, but she told me what it should be. And I received it. And now I'm here. Right? So these next episodes ongoing will always center apology accepted. Because whatever we discuss, we will always accept the apology after. Because sometimes we just have to say it out loud. Saying things out loud definitely helps most people, most places, and in most spaces. Every space is not a positive space, or every space is not meant for you to say out loud. But this here space is. And if ever you feel like you need to talk or want to vent, I'm here. Hey, friends. Because see, we friends now. And I am here for all of my friends. All right? This is a no judgment zone. So, judge yourself, not me. Because I warn you now, there will be episodes where you're going to be like, did she really just say that? No, she did not. Lord, she is. I am all the things. And whatever someone tell you about me, believe them. Because I've met each and every person in a different season of my life. So their version of me and what they received is their truth. I'll never tell anyone they're wrong. It's their truth. But understand, it's vice versa. So don't come for me, and I won't come for you. All right? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Apology Accepted podcast. I hope today's conversation sparked some growth for you. Be sure to subscribe and share with others who might need this reminder too. Until next time, you all, remember, healing starts with a simple apology. Take care.